Hi, this is James, known as James the Wine Guy, here to share this wine with you today. This is called Seufert Wines, and it is a vineyard designate, and this is a wine that is from the Willamette Valley, from the Idyl vineyard. This is a 2009 vintage, 13.4% alcohol content, really simple, nice label, great paper stock, and turn the back panel around here. I like that it has this wine snapshot here, it shows food pairing and some flavor characteristics, and the UPC code is there, of course. And which I'm a big fan of, QR, that's there as well. Now, it's a really small producer. They produce about 2,000 cases, and Pinot Noir is one of the leading varietals that they do produce. Now, for me, Pinot Noir is, and of course, this Oregon signature grape. I think maybe there's some argument about that. It could be that somebody says it's a Tempranillo, it's a Syrah, it's Malbec, it's something. The Pinot Gris, yes, Pinot Gris is excellent. There's no doubt about it. But Pinot Noir really floats to that collective imagination of wines from Oregon. Now, I'm based in California, San Francisco. It is really hard to get Oregon wines. And one of that reasons is, of course, California is a huge wine producing region, so on the shelves here, you see a lot of California wines. You do see some very top level, or not top level, but high producers, big producers in Oregon that have a presence and footprint here in California. But generally that's not the case because these producers are generally pretty small. So I'm going to Oregon in August of this year. I'm so excited about that. Can't wait to visit. And for me, it's a region that needs its own defining point, which is not that it doesn't have it, not that it doesn't have respect, because it does. A lot of people, I think, compare the Pinot Noir, which is excellent, as Burgundian in style. And I think it's an unfortunate way to describe Oregon Pinot Noirs. They should be described on their own terms without relying on Burgundy. Burgundy should only be compared to Burgundy. And it's just such a phenomenal region. There's so few climate zones in the entire planet that can grow Pinot Noir. So we are very fortunate to have Oregon, fortunate to have every region that we do have because it's so limited in its supply. The grape can only be grown in certain regions, and it's one of these varietals that will produce plenty of gray hair on any given head. It's a really tough growing region. Now, for me, I've opened this up and let it breathe a bit, and just the aromas on this wine are just phenomenal. I mean, it's slightly vitreous. I think in this video you really can't see that it is. It looks darker than probably what I see. When I see it's very vitreous. It's gorgeous color, very light violet in coloration. And some notes on this, I'm just getting that very earthen note of what I call plum orchard. So it's that soil, it's that smell of fallen plums on the ground and becoming part of the ground once again, that spice characteristic. So those are the hints of the wine and the flavor to come. So take a little taste of this wine and tell you what it's like. When you're tasting this wine, do yourself a favor. Let it suspend in your mouth a bit. Taste it. I mean, I did a pre-tasting earlier, but I tasted that and let that just suspend in my mouth for a little bit. I really want to get some characteristics in there. And what I did find was just some notes are just so complex and so beautiful that on the scent of it, it's a not completely different wine, but there are some nuances that are on the flavor profile that are not on the scent profile that I think is just phenomenally nice. And that's not unusual. That happens with many wines. Now this wine, getting beautiful notes of rose petal, violet, a little eucalyptus, getting some spice notes of just beautifully just smoked ground cardamom, getting notes of a little bit of cinnamon. I think it's a really exciting note to have because it really just, in my opinion, livens up the wine itself. A little bit of white pepper, getting notes of just picked cherry, and a little hint of strawberry, which is not always described in a Pinot Noir. This is a really beautiful wine, 9.2 out of a 10.0 scale. For more reviews, please go to jameswineguide.com. Please subscribe to my videos on YouTube, Facebook, Twitter, Vimeo, and Google+. Salud.